Hi there, it's Cristy Butzen from tinkerwithink.com. I am going to show you today how you can match up stamp sets with our steel rule dies like this one. This is the Autumn Accents die from Stampin' Up! And it coordinates with the Wonderfall stamp set, also from Stampin' Up! And a lot of people have questions on how you can use this die cut and stamp set together since you can't see what you're cutting with the steel rule dies. So I'm going to show you two different ways that you can go about coordinating these projects. So the first way is to cut first. So I have a leaf that I cut out with this die. Oh, and before I go any further, the dies are black. I have a piece of vinyl, of craft vinyl, over my die, and I use that because then I can see where my die shapes are much easier, and I can also write on the die what the minimum size requirement is for any material that I want to use on that shape. So like this maple leaf, the smallest piece of paper I can use is 3" by 3 1/4, and I can write that right on this vinyl. And if I should choose, I can peel this off at any time. It's not a permanent adhesive. When you cut the vinyl, you do want to make sure that you have the backing side down, that you can stick it on and it'll match. If you cut it the other way around, you'll have the sticky on the wrong side. So that's what this is. That's why you can see my shape so well, because I used just some craft vinyl, but you can pick that up at the craft store, and it makes using your dies that much easier. So I went ahead and cut out one of the leaves, and I will show you how to match that up if you cut first. So what I'm going to do is ink up this stamp. I will put the stamp down on my surface, and then with the cut piece there is a little bit of a lip. You can tell which direction you cut in. This is the wrong side of the paper. It goes face up to match your stamp. And if you just lay that right over, you can kind of see where it matches. And then you can just take a clear acrylic block and press that right in. Let's see how we did. So that's one way to do it, is to, I don't know if you can see that. That's one way you can do it, is to cut it out first. Now I'll show you the other way. So now to cut out a stamped image, when you've stamped it first, what we're doing is we'll put a cutting plate down and the die. Now I've gone ahead and cut two masks. By the way, these need to be the same size, and you cut them both at the same time to make your masks for this technique. So we're going to put the first die down, and now you can really see why I like to have that vinyl underneath. It makes it much easier to see your die shapes. So we'll put the first one down, and then we will line up the second mask with our stamped image. Now holding those together, we'll line them up over the first mask. And this is where it's important, if on this particular die I could just line it up with my vinyl. I don't actually need the other mask. But for shapes where it's just one shape, you wouldn't be able to see anything to line it up with. And that's when you would use the two masks. So we've got our layers all assembled. So we will put on the top cutting pad and lift your whole sandwich together and run it through the Big Shot. And now you've got your perfectly cut image. And I think it's much easier to do like the first technique, but sometimes we get into a project and realize a little too late what we've done, and this really is quite the perfect way for aligning. This one did get aligned a little better than the previous one. You probably can't really see these, but both of them will get the job done. So that's two different ways that you can cut out your dies. with a stamped image. So I hope that helped, and if you have any questions, please leave me a comment, and I will try and answer any questions that you may have.